I went to a place called the Highland Business Park, and it's like a big modern industrial park with, I don't know how many, maybe 100 businesses there. Yeah. And I wanted to go there and to talk with the businesses about maybe interviewing them and doing some work with them. I couldn't get into the building. They would not let me into the building with all the businesses there because of this health crisis that
Yes.
we have to live through. And they said, well, you have to book an appointment. I said, I am here to book an appointment. No, you have to go home and write an email from home to the companies that are here to book an appointment to come here to talk to them. So, but I'm here now. No, sorry, we can't let you in because you don't have an appointment. Well, what, is everybody so busy that they don't have time to talk to me for 2 minutes? Right? Is everything so important that they don't have 15 seconds for me? Right? All of these businesses, no, we can't let you in without an appointment. To which my response is, how the fuck do you think your business is going to progress if you're turning away people who are offering to help you? Or at least not listening to people who are offering you something. And then you complain about how difficult it is. Then you complain. You say, no, not interested, can't, go away, and then you complain that things are not working for you. You know, that would be like, say a girl comes up to you and asks you out, and you're like, go away. And she'd be like, blah, blah, you'd be, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Shoo, 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 go away. And then you complain about not having a girlfriend, right? I mean, that's the same principle. It's just backwards, right? It's just backwards. And so they complain. These companies complain about not having business, about things being difficult, and they're making it difficult for themselves on purpose. There is nothing that is happening today that is not part of the plan. There is nothing that is not part of the plan. Everything is planned. Just as almost every detail of every big business is organized and filed and sectioned and planned. The whole thing is planned. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, you know and I know that you need some level of personal contact.
Yes.
Like the difference between getting a reply to an email and getting a reply from a direct question because you're in the same. Why do we have reporters in newspapers? Why do we have reporters in newspapers? We have reporters in newspapers so that they can take their microphones and go to people, they can go to the horse and they can get the answer from the horse, right? So, Mr. Horse, what do you think? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Horse. And what about this? Blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Ta-da. Right? You see, we've lost that now. We don't have that. It's gone. That whole element of verification of reality has vanished in the last 6 months, and people are ever more disconnected from what is happening. I mean, this is we despite what we read on LinkedIn, which is just let me promote everything that Bill Gates and Richard Branson want, George Soros. It's just like a giant propaganda mill. It's like a giant propaganda machine for the big corporations.
Mm.
It's not useless, but it's not used in the right way for sure. And all of these, if I say this to all my clients every week. If I see one more post about how wonderful the pandemic is, if I see one more, because that's all there is. That's all there is on my LinkedIn stream. All the fantastic things I've learned from being locked at home. Yeah, and it's got stupid now. And the first couple were entertaining, but you know, it's like watching a dog do the same trick again and again and again. The first time it's funny, like a joke, right? The first time it's
Mm-hmm.
funny. The second time it's like, the third time it's like, just shut up, right? You know, it's beyond a joke. It's far more than a joke now. It's just complete ridiculousness. So is the people wearing like fish bowls on their head now? People walking around with giant balls on their head so they don't have to breathe the same air as other people. I mean, this is getting to be completely insane. So and of course the media promotes it because they're just too stupid to know better. And of course, if you can't meet people and you can't verify reality and you're disconnected, well, actually, it's very interesting. You just made me think of something there, actually. So I'm writing this tangent. We'll get back to things, but here's a little tangent. So I'm writing this chapter. I just finished writing this chapter in my new book, The Language of Deceit. It will appear this year. And the chapter is on mind control. It's on different methods of psychological control and different experiments that were used to see how people can be manipulated and controlled. And the single easiest way to control anybody is to disconnect them from other people. It's the single easiest way. This is the result of all the psychological studies through the 20th century. All these different experiments that happened in hospitals and clinics and things that the government say, yeah, we're sorry we did these experiments 30 years ago, but life, right? Life, there's the supposedly secret, not so secret government programs where they pay people lots of money to do things they shouldn't do to people. And these exist and have done for a long period of time. Anyway, the number one way to control society is to disconnect people, because nobody has any idea what reality is. No idea what reality is, because our reality is based on the information that we get. It's logical, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get information. It will rain tomorrow. So you go like, okay, it will rain tomorrow, so I will do this and not this, right? It's logical. We base reality on the information we get. The only way to make good decisions is to base your decision on your experience of reality, on your experience, your personal experience. Now, if you don't have that personal experience, if your experience is only the information you receive, not the information you experience, the information you receive, you then become disconnected from reality, which is this is stage one of madness. Stage one of human madness, because you begin to think in a very disconnected way because you don't understand what is happening around about you. So if people don't meet, they go mad. That's what happens. You know the classic example is like the treasure island sort of. Somebody gets stuck on a desert island by themselves. You know the classic stories is like there's a ship sinks or something happens to the ship and one person survives and they make it to an island, and it's an allegory for reality. If you are disconnected from the people around about you, you will go mad. You will go, and society will go mad because people will not have the physical contact they need in order to go forward. And what this in companies, this will destroy companies. What you are experiencing right now is stage one. You're experiencing stage one, which is, how do I develop my business and keep my good relationships with these people when I can't get to them? Yeah. And the answer to that is logically, I can't really develop better relationships with these people because I can't get to them. I can maintain the relationship. We can sort of maybe have some oscillation of something, but it's really, really hard to improve it. And I definitely can't develop new relationships this way. And this is going to break down companies the same way it breaks down individuals. The companies are just going to, there's going to be so much misinformation and wrong information and disinformation and confusing information and so many more calls to find out what's happening really there. Is that what's going on there? Because we're not sure, and it's hard to, you know the old saying, trust but verify, right? Trust but verification requires that you go somewhere to check and see. If someone says, we've got 500 pallets of product X in our warehouse, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Could be complete nonsense. If you can't go and verify it, it could be anything. I mean, we live in a society which kind of lives on the edge because hopefully the world will work out. Hopefully when I order the phone from eBay or Amazon, it will come to my home. I trust in the great gods of technology and the system that everything is what they say it is, and there's more good people than bad people out there. So trust that it is what it is. But business can't survive through this disconnection from everything, and people won't survive within the businesses. And look at and if you want like the real hardline note on this, it's just look at how many people have killed themselves in the last 6 months, suicides. And a lot of these people are people in business who just go mad because it's just like they can't it's just too much. There's no support networks for them. They can't talk to people. They're isolated. They've got problems and they can't find the people that they need to find, or they can't force their brain to think in the new way or the new normal. And I got one finger for the new normal, so so that's as far as I can count. Okay, that's as far as I can count as far as that goes. I don't like that. Anything that's forced has failed already. So So if you've got a good idea for something, persuade me, but don't force me. Persuade me, convince me, bring me your good ideas, bring me your reason, bring me your logic with that. But so there's this chapter in the next book where I spent 2 or 3 weeks reading and researching and looking at these different experiments on the mind. And then the little light bulb coming on and me realizing that what we're living through is just the next stage of all these experiments. And that a lot of people are not going to survive. They're going to feel under so much pressure, they're going to break. And that's going to be really bad for the big organizations and big companies. And I'm not sure the big companies are ready for it, thinking that everybody is still going to be okay with this still not back to normal rubbish. It bends my mind to try to think about it. But the isolationism, if anybody, if you isolate your enemy, it's war. You go back and read about how people conducted war either 50 years ago or 1,000 years ago. It's the same principle. The first thing you do is you isolate your enemy so that your enemy can't get any help, can't get any support. What did armies do? They hit the cities and they had armies around the city to stop anything going in and stop anything going out. They isolated people. And the isolation weakened the people, weakened the enemy. And these social tactics that we're seeing, it's not social distance, it's social isolation. You give it the right words. It's disconnecting people from each other, which I'm just on top of this. In the last week, I have heard a number of stories from a number of local businesses, and not wanting to, not looking for this. Just people telling me that there's people running businesses here who have been very close to suicide because of the difficulties that they're experiencing. And the fact is, the worst part is they can't see the end. When is it going to stop? When is it going to end? When is the end point? And people not being able to see that. And that, when you don't have a target, or when the target keeps changing, these are classic tactics, right? The goalposts. Moving the goalposts. They're here. Nope, they're over here. Nope, they're down here. Nope, they're over there. And so the madness of it all is quite ridiculous. And the pressure on people to keep their jobs as well under this. Because if companies don't hit their profits, there's going to be, negative feedback, right? On one side, people are going to say, oh, well, it was a bad year because of the health crisis anyway. But on the other side, the companies are going to say, well, it was bad. We can't afford to have everybody. And that's not cool, to not have that level of security there.